But the answer is yes, there is a soul language. But can I just describe something to you? When you're in this intellectual dominant place, you want to try to understand everything from an intellectual perspective. The irony of being in a soul dominant space, in disease space, is that you seem to automatically understand everything as logical. And it's really weird when you make the shift. Like, what happens is instead of you going into confusion and then... See, with intellect, what you do, firstly, there's confusion, generally. So I'm confused. Secondly, we want to answer. So from our confusion comes the desire to get an answer. Right? From the desire to get an answer, we ask the question. Right? Then we get an answer. The trouble is, a lot of times, because it's coming from my intellect, and I don't always want to know the answer, I'll often then question the answer that I received. So I have another question. Right? And then I have another answer. And then sometimes the answers actually start hitting this part of me and shift me. But until the answers do, I will keep asking question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. It all comes from the place that our mind creates. And what our mind creates is this place of confusion. Because the truth is, and this is a very basic truth, there are a lot of things that God has designed in her universe that your mind is totally incapable of understanding. So I'll say that again. Your mind is not the machine you believe it to be. It's actually totally incapable of processing certain things God's designed in her universe. The soul is the thing that is capable of processing. Only the soul. So, when I go through this process of confusion, desire, question, that's all well and good, that's great, I do that, I need to do that, but I need to get out of its dominance of the mind and back into how do I feel about that, why do I have resistance to that, what's my emotion about that. As I do that, I will find actually I start relieving my mind of its burden to tell me truth. Because my soul is actually capable of connecting to God's soul and telling me the truth as I desire it. Right? And that's the beauty of what God's created. But I can only do it via this soul that I need to allow the development of, which you are allowing the development of. So as we go through the intellectual process, what we're doing in a lot of ways is denying the soul its own desire to grow a different way. And this is the problem with progress on all of the natural love paths on earth, is that they are denying this soul-based growth, and the mind is heavily involved in the manipulation of fact and the determination of truth. And the mind is totally incapable of determining truths above the sixth dimension. So this dimension here, the sixth, the mind is only capable of understanding up till that dimension. The mind cannot understand anything above that dimension. It's physically impossible for the mind to grasp anything beyond that dimension. So every spirit who's in the room at the moment, the reason why I'm saying this is because quite a lot of them at the moment who are in there from the sixth sphere, is it's impossible for a person who's still mind dominant to grow beyond the sixth dimension, because the mind is incapable of grasping the state of the seventh dimension. The only thing that's capable of grasping the state is the soul, this part of you, not this part. And that's the issue that every sixth sphere spirit actually faces. Everyone. Yep. You got any more questions? No.